Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the absolute core of business success, the Salesforce lifecycle. I mean, if you've ever wondered how top-tier organizations systematically build, train, and manage their revenue engines, well, you're in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this because the Salesforce really is the ultimate high-performance engine of any company. And it all anchors on this single powerful reality. The sales force of any organization is the main revenue generator for the business. It sounds obvious, right? But think about it. Imagine yourself as the manager directly responsible for this massive revenue generator. It changes everything. Every single decision you make, whether it's about hiring, training, or pay, it directly impacts the bottom line. It's a huge responsibility for sure, but the good news is it's also a highly structured process. To master that process, we're going to follow a visual roadmap, taking a logical 5-step chronological journey. We'll cover 1. Hiring your sales force. 2. Training for market success. 3. Compensating your sales team. 4. Motivating the sales force. And finally, 5. Evaluating sales performance. Let's start right at the beginning. Number 1. Hiring your sales force. So building out this revenue engine obviously starts with finding the absolute right people. And it operates like a funnel. First up is recruitment planning. You simply can't hire effectively if you don't know your optimum team size, right? You've got to do a deep workload analysis first. Then comes the actual recruitment phase, actively sourcing and pulling in a wide, strong pool of candidates from both inside and outside the company. And finally, selection. This is your critical filter where you choose the exact right fit from that pool to actually join your ranks. Moving on to number 2, training for market success. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is, despite the high upfront costs, consistent training yields an incredibly high return on investment. You can't just hire people and throw them to the wolves. A successful training program aggressively corrects deficiencies across 5 core areas to prepare your team for flawless market execution. We're talking about the fundamentals of salesmanship, deep knowledge of specific territories and customers, understanding the company's internal policies and mission, absolute total product understanding, and clear job-related duties. And hey, remember, whenever the market shifts, this whole cycle has to repeat. Next up, number 3, compensating your sales team. So you've got a highly trained team ready to sell. Now we hit the really complex part of the life cycle. If the sales force is the engine, compensation is the fuel keeping it running and boosting overall organizational profits. Let's look at the 2 polar opposites here. On one side, you have straight salary. The organization pays a fixed amount at fixed intervals. This gives a salesperson incredibly high security, but, it might lack that aggressive push for more sales. On the flip side, commission only. Payment is based solely on the sales generated. 0 guaranteed income whatsoever. It's stressful, sure, but it heavily motivates that extra effort to close just one more deal. And this brilliantly illustrates that companies aren't just stuck with those 2 extremes. There are several hybrid methods to fit different corporate cultures and constraints. You've got salary plus commission, which balances baseline security with a nice upside incentive. Then there's profit margin or revenue sharing. This is super popular with startups that might be facing a liquidity crunch. And finally, territory volume, where compensation is pooled and divided equally, which is absolutely perfect for team-based collaborative cultures. But how do you actually put one of these plans together? As a manager, you literally cannot just guess here. You have to follow a strict organizational process. Let's look at the steps for creating a sales compensation plan. It's a completely logical flow. Step 1, determine objectives. You've got to set your initial priorities. Are you trying to increase overall revenue or maybe push a specific new product line? Step 2, select the plan, basing this on your company's size and sales cycle. Step 3, decide timing and method. Like, do they get paid when the contract is signed or when the cash actually hits the bank? Step 4, set sales quotas so the team knows the exact targets they need to hit. And finally, step 5, review the plan continually to make sure it's actually driving those initial objectives. All right, moving to number 4, motivating the sales force. Now, you might be thinking, hey, paying people well is enough, right? Actually, scratch that. Even the highest paid sales force needs continuous psychological fuel to hit specific targets. Motivation isn't just about cash. A manager has to balance financial rewards, your monetary bonuses, commissions, and financial incentives, with non-monetary rewards. We're talking vouchers, exclusive perks, prizes, gift cards. It's about creating this holistic urge to succeed that taps into completely different aspects of what employees actually want. So the crucial point is, to really understand employee behavior, we have to look at motivational theories, specifically Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This theory suggests that human needs happen in a very particular order. The basic survival and security needs, those have to be fulfilled before higher order needs, like esteem or self-actualization, even become important. When you apply this directly to the sales context, it explains so much. If you know what level of need a rep is trying to fulfill right now, you can craft specific incentives that genuinely drive higher effort at work.
And finally, number 5, evaluating sales performance. We've reached the final stage of the employee lifecycle. This is the vital diagnostic check of our sales engine. Evaluation ensures that the sales force's performance, motivation, and compensation plans are directly resulting in the achievement of your organizational goals. It's not just a quick review. By looking hard at the compensation and sales data, managers verify if this entire, complex system is actually generating the intended revenue.
Which brings us to the end of this explainer. From planning that initial headcount all the way to evaluating the final data, it's quite the journey. So based on everything we've unpacked today, I want to leave you with this final question to reflect on. Is your sales force just a department or a meticulously managed revenue generator? Are you truly applying this life cycle to maximize your own business success? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.